All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I wanted to talk to you this morning about Sheeple. It's extremely cold here in Tennessee, and I mean extremely. I'm talking about down here where we're at in the single digits, and it's been that way for quite a few days. Looks like we may get a little bit of relief here coming up this weekend, or the wicked end, but then it's going right back again to freezing again. All right. Let's talk about Sheeple here just for a moment before I get out here and I have to hit it here real fast. All of us in this generation, the generation before us, as well as the generation after us, and let's just say we use 40 years to compute and calculate what a generation is. You have to understand what has gone on. Listen to me very closely if you choose to be informed. It makes no difference whether it's on a social, political, economic, or religious viewpoint, standpoint, perspective, totally irrelevant. You and I, when we fell out of our mother's womb, listen to me very closely, we came into a world and into a system that has already been in place, that has already been functioning prior to us arriving. Do you understand that? I know that this may be way out there for some of you people who do not spend time using self-autonomy, but it's just a fact. So that means our political structure, our social structure, our economic structure, and all of these different religions and the structures that they have. Civilization as we know it, it was already in place. And chances are, your mother and father, as well as mine, and everybody else, was trained by the same system. I didn't say educated. They have us under the illusion that education is the answer to every problem in the world. Well, we're the most educated society that there's ever been on the face of planet Earth since the beginning of mankind. I mean, we have knowledge. We have knowledge and a plethora of it scattered from one end of the place all over the other. We used to be an industrial type country where we will work with our hands and get things done. Now everybody wants to sit in the building, sit behind the desk and the keyboard and sit and type and so-called use this, when really that's been done. So we're educated. And are we any better? So we all have been birthed into a system that has already been in place. That's the only reason why people, even though I speak on the social, political, and economic, I also speak on the religious viewpoint and the perspective because I'm a pastor. And that's the reason why I'm hated, because I hit all the things using the same book that we've all been so-called reared and raised and trained by. Notice how you keep using the word trained by. Come to find out that we've been lied to even in that perspective. So, I've learned one thing about this little 47 years I've been living here on this earth, is that this whole thing is an illusion. This whole thing is a deception. This whole thing is truly a matrix. Our mother and father was manipulated, trained, and coerced by the same system. We turn around and we grow up in the same system. We go to public food. They teach us the federal curriculum from one end of this land to the other. And then we turn around and perpetuate the same old evils again by teaching our children the same things we have learned. And the only reason why something is truth is simply because we chose to accept it to be truth. That doesn't mean that it's been truth all the time. It's just that's what we accepted. And anything that we have accepted to be truth, it has shaped our mindset. That is what we call our paradigm. That's what we call our own personal truth. So it makes no difference if the Bible says it. It makes no difference if religion says it. It makes no difference if the civilization or the structure of the day says it. If it's something that we don't believe personally our own self, and it's not in our own belief system, it's not truth, nor is it fact to us. And we don't care what anything says, and we're going to choose a form of rebellion, whether it be an open form of rebellion, protest and resistance, or soft form, because we have shaped our own minds and programmed our own minds based on the information that has been presented to us by this particular system right here. And we have chosen to define truth on our own terms. That's the reason why we have so many diversities of opinions. That's the reason why we have so many people that disagree on so many fronts, because the majority of our disagreements is based on what we already believe and think that we know and think that we understand and think that what we have already perceived to be true. And that's just a fact. That's just the way we do things. And since you have a whole world doing that, that's the reason why you'll never have countries agreeing with each other. You'll never have individuals agreeing with each other. There'll always be some type of coup or disagreement or dissension in almost every organization. That's the reason why no matter what, you have to strive with those who have the same mind, who understand the same thing, who can actually pick up the Bible. You know, it's like many people say over and over again, well, you know, everybody interprets the Bible their own way. And I go, really? I said, now, I believe that. I said, but I promise you this, it's not of any private interpretation. I guarantee it ain't. Okay? Let's just take one of the commandments that everybody seems like it's just so hard for people to grasp. All right? It says, thou shalt not steal. All right? Interpret that. Interpret that. Let's just make it real simple. Don't take that which does not belong to you. How about that? Is that good enough? Now, you can sit and argue and disagree with my definition all you want, but the fundamentals and the principles are still the same. See, it's not the fact of the matter of where we choose to actually believe it to be the book or not, because it's been, the Old Testament has got 4,000 years of history of the Hebrews. The New Testament covers somewhere between 60 and 100 years of the Greeks and the Romans. And that's what we have based in front of us. But what we're trying to do is define everything today on anywhere between 60 and 100 years of history based on 4,000, and then trying to throw away 4,000 years of history. And that's the reason why the world is all jacked up today, because whether we like it or not, we're man, we're human beings. So inherently, we're going to worship something, whether it be the supreme creator of the universe, a tree, a stone, a wood, a cat, a dog, a mouse, a dolphin, a lion, a leopard, a whale, humanity, or even your own self. Humanity or humans are going to worship something in this life. Even if you choose to say, I ain't worshiping nothing, you still have made yourself a god. So whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, is totally irrelevant. That's just the way it is. So since we all been pre-programmed, manipulated, coerced, dominated like never before in this life right here, it's any wonder that we have anything working together as far as unity going in this world, because everything is, you know, when you're dealing with politics, you're dealing with strategy. There's no such thing as lying when you put strategy up front. You know, whoever can come up with the best strategy to lie, cheat, deceive, coerce, manipulate, murder, kill, steal, whatever it takes to get the victory. And then they'll say, pat each other on the back as if they have morally done something right. It makes no difference if we choose to go ahead and launch some drones on a bunch of innocent civilians to kill one so-called perceived terrorist, because that's what they tell us. The ends justify the means. And so therefore, as long as we got them terrorists, who cares about the collateral damage of innocent human beings and human lives that actually just went poof right out of existence and off into eternity? See, that's the type of mindset we're up against. That's the type of mindset that we're dealing with today, where there's hardly little to any value whatsoever at all on human life. It's a wonder we have not even just murdered and killed each other today with the sociopaths that are in control, the psychopaths that are on the loose. I mean, how do you continue to keep trying to present this truth when people just can't seem to grasp it, nor do they want to understand it? Well, I'll tell you the reason why we do it. One person at a time. That's it. It's not for everybody. Just one. One person at a time. That's the reason why I get on here and make these videos. That's why I preach and teach every Sabbath. And that's another one. How in the world can you get Sunday out of the Bible? You really have truly got to ignore the truth, ball it up, throw it away, and take tradition of men over the commandments of Yahweh. You have to do that in order to come up with this Sunday stuff, because it's just not written about in the book. But the 7-day Sabbath is. But it's remarkable, isn't it? It's remarkable how people do that. That's because when you come into a world that has already been in place, a system has already been in place, and you have been trained how to function in that system and stuff, you know, it takes somebody like a Samson. It takes somebody like a David. It takes somebody like a Moses. It takes somebody that have that same type of character and nature to be able to kick against wind and tide in order to put a defibrillator on our minds and our conscience to get us to think for once in our life, to shock us. And that's the reason why I say sheeple, because most of us, 99% of us in this world are just functioning like a bunch of sheep being led to the slaughter. And only a few of us, the modern day term that people are using, they are called wide awake. Only a few of us are actually awake and functioning using our own volition and our own minds in the midst of a wicked and perverse generation. I hope I said something to try to stimulate your thought. I've been doing a lot of these videos to reach down into the soul of man, to let you look at the devil and see the devil for what he really truly is. And not only that, but let you see exactly what is really truly going on right before our very eyes, because there are a lot of people that are using coercive, manipulative ways that are flying under the radar to try to extract information out of you, all to cut your throat. And you need to know that. And the only thing that sets free is truth. That's it. Truth is the only thing that will liberate you and set you free. Even listen to this video. You have a choice and a decision to make. I would like everyone who views this video in its entirety to either vote a thumbs up or a thumbs down. In that way, and then not only that, make a comment. And for those of you who vote thumbs down, tell us the reason why you vote thumbs down. Tell me the lie or the deception that I have said to the world out here. Because, I mean, if you're voting thumbs down, sure, it's your prerogative. You may not just like the way I look. You may not like the color of my skin. You may not like the way I talk. You may not like how I present information. But at least tell the people why you are voting thumbs down. Now, I know that most people don't have any integrity in their heart whatsoever at all, because, I mean, dogs are dogs, pigs are pigs, and that's just the way people are. But, hey, for those of you who do have integrity, or if you're going to vote thumbs down, tell us the reason why you disagree with what I said, so that we all can understand. Because, hey, we may be caught up in the matrix too, those of us that are wide awake. And we may be deceived. And if you're voting thumbs down, you may know something that we don't know. And maybe here's your opportunity. And here's your chance to wake all of us up. You deserve the truth, and that's the truth straight away. Sheeple.